Hello YouTube. I have my helper Maddox.
Oh, no.
He is going to watch and assist.
Oh, no.
And I have helper Nola here. She is going to provide background commentary on our next project, which is transitioning our Traxxas Scully into brushless. So here's our brushless setup I bought. It was a slightly used setup I got off eBay. I think I have about 70 bucks wrapped up in this. I already tested it without a load. Everything seems to be functioning properly. This Traxxas Scully we bought shortly after they came out, and as you guys know, they come with the brushed, tightened 12-turn, the 12-turn motor. That's what they come with. And as fun as it is, it's just, it needs a little more power. And I really think brushless, this thing will be just a blast driving around. It should be endless wheelies. That's what we're hoping. So I'm gonna get you guys mounted up on the tripod so I can actually turn some screws out and get this started. So what I plan on doing with this Traxxas XL5 is modding it into my Traxxas Blast, which is a boat, so I can run lipos on that instead of the NiCad that comes with it. And it should give us, if nothing else, a little more burst and a longer run time out of that. So I guess that's that. We will be right back.
And will the thing run on water?
No, this isn't the boat will.
We can put the boat body on it instead.
No, the boat body's not going to make this float. We would need like an X-Max or something with probably, I would recommend probably 8S to make it float. Yeah, you would need a lot of power and not a lot of weight. At any rate, we will be back. I'll start taking the covers off of the receiver to get all that out, and then take out the speed controller and the motor. That's what this video is going to be about. So the first thing we need to do is get the screws out of our receiver cover, which I'll put the link to this toolkit in the description. I think it's a Duratrax kit. Pretty sure. Yeah, well, Dynamite. Dynamite. You guys can see that. It's a Dynamite RC. I'll put the equivalent to this anyhow in here. So we have all kinds of different tools. And then our screwdriver, which is, it's like, it has a neutral and then, or a spot where it doesn't ratchet at all, and then if you go one of each other way, it'll ratchet. So that's kind of cool if you don't want to. I normally just use it like a regular screwdriver, though. It's not a huge advantage to me to have it in that other mode. So we will put, I gotta put the other bit in. These are two different sizes. And we'll get this guy out, and then we will get our wires out for our speed controller, which will follow these wires over into the speed controller, and that is the number 2 channel. And we will pull that out, and there our speed controller's done. So we're done inside of our receiver for now, and then we just need to get our ESC and our motor out. So I've never pulled these out. We've had this thing for a good many years, so sorry if that was off camera. It just took a little bit of juice. There we go. Our motor's now unplugged, and these are just a regular Phillips screw on this particular model. Like I said, these Scullies are basically a Stampede, from my knowledge, and it's relatively old Traxxas tech, really. I mean, but they're fun, you know. They're a little higher than the Slash two-wheel drive, and our Slash is brushless, has a lot more power than this, but this truck, it just doesn't have the get up and go because of the brush system. So I think this is going to transform this truck into a whole different animal. It shouldn't even keep the front tires on the ground. So here's our XL5, which is compatible to, you know, to the brushless, or to the LiPo battery. So here we go. So I'll set this aside. Don't mind the mess over here. And we're going to take off the transmission cover. I'll probably have to take the wheelie bar off. I'm not 100% sure. These Traxxas have been pretty trouble-free for me, so I haven't had to do a lot of repairs. My Slash came brushed originally, and I beat on it with 2 and 3S for a good while, and the transmission finally did go out. So I changed the transmission on that one, but for the most part, these have been really good to me. So we'll see what all we need to get into here, but you will see. It's not very hard. It's kind of rewarding. I could only imagine if you weren't really mechanically inclined that this would actually be fun, you know. Because if you don't get it done, you can always just take it to your hobby shop, and they can finish it for you. It's not like you're gonna be, you know, not be able to get to work the next day. So this is a good way to learn about simple mechanics if you don't already know how. So we have our cover loose now. We'll pop this off. Like I said, this has never been off. See if you guys can see what I'm doing here. Get you a good shot here. So there's a lot of dirt in here, and there you can see our 2 screws for our motor, and there's our spur gear. That's our spur. That's our pinion, I believe. And then of course there's our Allen head that holds that on the motor. We'll just unscrew the motor right now, which I'm going to go to a different bit. It's a little bigger. The one I used is really small, so. And in hindsight, I should have probably taken. I will do that here real quick. I'll pull the the tire off this guy if I have the proper socket. No, I do. I just don't have it. Perfect. 7mm. The nut size for the wheel is 7mm. So once we get this off, it's going to allow me better access to get in here, and also to show you guys what I'm doing. Pull the wheel off. Perfect. And I'm sure I'll start breaking stuff on this as well once I get, you know, the extra power, which, hey, that's the price you pay, you know. It'll be more fun, but it will definitely use the drive shafts up. But on a 2-wheel drive vehicle, you know, that's really it. Transmission, back drive shafts. Unless you're hitting stuff, you know, you really shouldn't be having problems. So there we go. You can see the motor's loose. It'll probably just, yep, fall right out. Sorry about that. It's kind of loud. And there we go. This one's going to come out or not, because the spur gear's kind of holding that one in, which isn't terrible. We'll just leave it in there. And then I will have to see what for gears I have for the brushless setup, and I might actually look and see what the actual stock gearing is on a brushless Stampede, and then I'll see if I have a spur gear that's close to that, so we at least have a good baseline, because I'm pretty sure that that's probably not going to work on a brushless setup, but we'll check it out. So I'm going to pause you guys real quick. I'll do a little research, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys. Alrighty, I outfitted my brushless motor with the same gear that was on the motor on the brushed motor, because that's the only one I had. I thought I had more, but the ones I had were for my 6S. I guess it was the E-Revo I had. It's a completely different pitch, so I am going to change the 90 tooth down to an 86 here, which should give it some more oomph. And here's my 86. 90 tooth versus 86. Just 4 teeth, but actually, I'm wrong. I had to think that in my head. I was wrong. The smaller on the bigger on the actual motor, the faster you go, your more top speed you'll have. And then the bigger on here, the faster you'll go. So that's backwards. You need, I might just leave the 90 on there, because that's just going to slow it down. I don't believe there's any RPM change, and I am way small on the pinion, so I'm not. Thought that through. I'm losing my damn mind here, guys. I'm overthinking things. I'm gonna put the 86 on. So we are. Which I'm hoping goes pretty easily. There's our bearing. And after what's supposed to happen? Tragedy offset. Tragedy offset. Okay. I just need to get the screws out here for the slipper itself, which are right here. These screws they're in there. There we go. And then we'll switch over to our 86, and we'll just see how it goes. If it seems like it needs more gear, I'll buy a bigger pinion for the motor, which is probably what's going to need to happen. I just don't, I thought I had one, but I don't, so we will make that happen. But either way, this thing should be yanking. It should be yanking tires, so should make it pretty fun. There we go, guys. I had to pry on a little bit. It's been on there since this thing's been new. So we're going from the 90 tooth into the 86 tooth. Plenty of meat on those, on that slipper clutch. I might actually start using it. I don't really think you need much of a slipper clutch on a brushless setup. I don't think it really makes enough power to hurt it. So we're going to be finding out now, though, because I'm sure we'll start breaking some stuff, which is fine. When the fun level goes up, That's normally what happens. So I'll changing these out. Sorry. I'm like wondering why nothing's happening. I'm just... There we go, there's 2. And there's number 3. It's hiding from us. So we'll jam this on. Get our slipper started again. 1, 2, and 3. So there's our... Guess I need to pay attention here. It's been forever since I've done this. This just unkeyed, which would be no good. There's little pegs there that disc has to be sitting on, and when I pushed this on, it decided to let me know real quick that it wasn't happy. So we'll put our spring back on, and then we'll put our nut back on. And I believe it's the same size as the wheel stud was, which was 7mm. So I will swap this out with our handy little tool here. And this is a little difficult when the tire's not on, but you have to hold the axle from spinning and go from there. So we'll leave that loose, but it's on there. And then I will... It's actually too loose right now. We'll run that in. That's tight, and we're going to back it off a little bit. And then we'll see where we're at. I can mess with this after I get everything else on. So now I'm going to put the motor in. So I'll get my setup here, which I already plugged in temporarily just to test it. Because the seller of the kit was like, "Hey man, can you leave me a positive review on eBay?" And I'm like, "What?" It's still sitting on my workbench. I haven't even had a chance to put it on yet. So I'm assuming that's probably what was keeping him from getting paid. So I went ahead and just tested it real quick, because that's one thing about this hobby. As much as you would hope that everybody's honest, it seems to bring out the worst in people from what I've seen, at least on the Facebook groups. Like, there's people getting scammed all the time, and it only takes a couple people to ruin everything. But there we go. That being said, here's our bottom screw. I'll put that one in since I can see where it needs to go already. And then there we go. There we go. It's making me look like I don't know what I'm doing. It's hard. I'm trying to get you guys in here to see this, and then I can't see what I'm doing, and it just creates a downward spiral. Okay, there we go. That one's in. Now I have no idea where that one is, so I probably did that. I probably did the dumb thing and started the wrong one first, because that bottom one was the pivot bolt. There we go. Got lucky. I think I got lucky. Let me get this guy in here so we can see what we're doing, and then I can use this one. Yeah, we're good. That actually worked out. I think I got lucky, guys, but hey, we'll take it, you know. And then you want to run this one in and get... You gotta check your mesh. You don't want it like so tight that it won't move. But I think we're fine right there. and we'll give her a go. I think this is going to be gear bound and just a wheelie machine. It won't go fast, but it's going to be fun to drive with that little tiny pinion gear on. So tighten that up. I didn't use Loctite on anything, so we will see how this holds up. Yeah, there's definitely movement in the spur, and that just a tiny bit of movement. So we'll take it for what it's worth. Should work perfectly fine. And now we will put our transmission cover on. These two screws are regular fine. This is a regular fine thread down here, and this one here is a little longer. Those other ones worked. I probably jacked up my threads in my transmission, but that being said, perfect. There we go. And you can see this one. Those coarse thread ones hold the speed controller on. Had to go back and watch my own videos, see how I'm supposed to tear apart my transmission. There we go. These are the two that you need to take out. These are the two you need to put back in. I was wondering why that wasn't getting tight, because this bottom one's shorter than this top one. So there you go. Boom. It's nice and tight now. Now we will get our brushless VXL 3S set up here, and we will put it on. I'm hoping it takes the same screws that I was trying to put in the other setup, and that'll hold it on there beautifully. I don't claim to be a professional. I'm just here. Watch what I do. If you don't want to do it, it might be smart. But if you decide to, you know, hey, hopefully I helped you out. So there's our, oh, I'll tell you what, let me look at this. Okay, here you can see the depth of this tab, and it is definitely about half of the depth of this one. So these screws here will not work on the VXL 3S. So I'm gonna have to find a couple screws that are a little longer. They're both longer, so here you can see the difference between them. We have a lot thicker boss here. So I'll find some longer screws and I'll be right back, and I'll screw this down. So just so you know, heading into this, that you're gonna be, two of your screws are gonna be a little short. So here I found a different screw. It's longer, almost twice as long, but it should be fine. That's an actual hex head instead of a Phillips. I'm hoping this actually works. There you can see when I push it in how much is sticking out. It's more than what I'd like, but there's, let me pull this battery out just to make sure this isn't going to be a problem. Last thing I want to do is run a screw through my battery in a video and then say, hey, might be a way to get a bunch of views after this thing spontaneously combusts. I may need to there we go. See if that'll start. I'm sorry if you, all you can see is my hand. So this is not the screw that was in this from the factory. But then this isn't the ESC that was in it from the factory either. So it's definitely starting, and it's threading in, and it's grabbing good. So this will be a good size. I do believe I'm gonna have to figure out a way to shorten the other one. There's no other one I have, so it's gonna have to work, because it's sticking through, and I'll see how far this one sticks through. But the other one's going to go down inside my battery compartment, and it's going to hinder my ability to get a battery in it. So That is not good. We can't have the new screw. Yeah. Afraid it's gonna be a little too much. So I will look in a way to shorten this, which I'm thinking I can use a pair of my wire cutters that have those little cheesy thread cutters on them and just knock off a few threads. I'll see if it works. It should, considering that this only has to go into plastic. I don't think that'll be an issue. Okay guys, I'm back. I shortened that screw with the cutter that I had. It worked just fine. So I will I think I need to loosen the other one up here a little bit. I need to work on getting you guys in here from a different angle, because every time I go to work it's like I'm blocking your view, which is not cool. So it is. Just make sure this one lines up the exact same way that the other one does, because it seems to be not wanting to cooperate. So yeah, this is definitely wider than the other one. I think we need to go to a different set of holes. My bad. I'm learning as I go here. This is definitely wider than the other brushless setup. It's using a different set of holes, but they're already drilled into this mount because I'm sure it's so it's the front set of holes in this setup. So, and they're definitely going right in. Perfect. We'll be cooking with fire here real soon, guys. Just be patient. I'll include a small run video. Once I get get it hooked up, it should be a completely different animal. I'll let my pilot Maddox, who's 5, run it. He has a big rock, a 3S big rock right now, so this will be a cakewalk for him right now, so we should be fine. Let me get the ESC wire in here, and then we'll be able to ESC wire, the receiver wire in here. Either way, you see what I mean. And it will definitely go in the number 2 position. And flip it around. There's number 1, there's number 2. It's being difficult. Perfect. Bam. There we go. Now, before I get too crazy, I'm going to run the wires from the motor into the wires here, which we have blue, yellow, and white. And you just need to hook them in. This is why I go with this factory Traxxas stuff. Is it as good as the Hobby Wing? Probably not. But it's just, for me, it's just so damn reliable. I don't have an issue with it. It's plug and play. A lot of guys hate Traxxas, and if you do, I mean, that's fine. I get it. I would never buy a new Traxxas battery. Like, they definitely cost way too much. And then, you know, so I'm definitely not that naive, but at the same time, there's nothing wrong with their RC cars. They make some nice stuff. So they do. It's definitely not cheap stuff. you pay a little bit for premium. It's kind of like the Corvette, you know. Perfect. So, hope you guys have been able to see at least some of this without my fat hands in the way. Main thing is you'll get your receiver cover off, take your number 2 wire out, which is the one coming from your speed controller. The hole's already there to mount it, and then you just need a few tools. I didn't actually name the actual sizes, and my bad if that's something that would help you guys, but you're gonna need to buy a kit with a couple different tools in it. This little screwdriver kit that I bought, I believe is only $20. It's right around that, and it is handy because it has everything you need. It has your screwdrivers, it has all your different bits that you're gonna need. So there, that's in there. That's considered the waterproof cover. This one here is a 2.0. And the other one is 2.5. So this is 2mm, I guess, and that's 2.5mm. Or at least the actual hex size is 2.0 and 2.5, assuming it's millimeter. So now, we will get our battery back in that I took out for fear that I'd break it. It is a newer one that I just bought. I was gonna start getting into drag racing, so it is it's a 240C burst discharge, 50C max charge. It's a 120C battery. They're you know, it's not the best. They ain't like a max amps or anything, but as you can see, I bought them, and 2 months later, I haven't even got a drag RC yet. Our local hobby shop was going to do we were setting up a drag, you know, to do drag racing. I think it was a 4-race series. The winner was gonna get $2,000, and I don't know whatever happened, but it there we go. Steering. Of course, that one's gonna spin like mad because there's no tire on it, but there we go. So good enough. We will get the other tire on here, take it for a blast, and let you guys watch the action. Okay guys, I tried it out. I had to adjust the slipper a little bit. I had it way too loose. But we should be good to go. This even included a fan. That should keep everything nice and cool. So we're gonna go throw a body on this, do a little run around the yard, and then, just for fun, we'll put the GoPro on the vehicle itself and let my son run around and take you guys on a wild adventure. Okay, YouTube, so just testing this thing, what a huge improvement. My son has already called it Super Scully just since we've started testing it here in the garage. I just wanted to show you my lights. I put lights in the back, right in the middle of the skull, and I've done that like years ago. And I also put one in each one of these eyeballs. This one of the wires came off of, but it looked kind of cool, so I did it that way. So the next shot you guys have will be us riding it around outside, and then I'm gonna I'll put this GoPro on the body somehow, and we will let you guys take a ride along with us. Okay, guys. Figured I'd show you this little clip here, me running it around. It has so much more power than what it used to. It's ridiculous how much power it has compared to what it did. I mean, it's no X-Max, but this thing is ridiculous. Definitely worth the 70 bucks I put in it, that's for sure. Because it just completely transformed this thing. It hits the wheelie bar so hard it comes completely off the ground now. Yeah. The Scully is basically a Stampede, but it's definitely worth... It's definitely worth... Do you see that? It completely flipped over backwards. It's definitely a good basher, that's for sure. That is for sure. And it does go through the grass fairly good. The problem with the two-wheel drive Slash is the height, and the late spring, early summer here, the grass grows like 3 inches a day. On fresh cut grass, the Slash does fine, but I wanted something with a little more height, so I'm thinking about, I kind of wanted to put some higher tires on this, and maybe even a different body, but I kind of dig the body, especially after I put the time in the actual light, so I'll probably fix that other light. You can see them right now still, they're pretty bright. And it's fun at night. It just gives you enough to see where the vehicle is. It's not lighting your path by any means, but... Okay, well, I'm sure you guys seen enough of this, so it's a wheelie monster, that's for sure. Works very well. I'm definitely having a good time with it. Made it fun again, that's for sure. It used to be, I'll drive the Scully, because it was slow, and now having two brushless ones, it's definitely improved our fun a good bit. Alright guys, I will be right back, and I will put the camera, I'll mount it on the Scully, and I'll let my son take you for a ride. So if you're queasy, I'm sorry. Okay guys, I apologize in advance, but this ought to be fun, so I'm curious to see what we see here. Hey Maddox, here you go. Sorry YouTube.
channel. Wait here. You see my hand? Wait here. That's my channel. Number 2. I mean.
Hope you guys enjoyed our video. Signing off from Maddox.
Yeah, and you must, can I actually say, this is my channel because I ride this LC car. This is not my camera, that's my daddy's one, so it's not waterproof anymore because I have the different cover on it. So, like and subscribe, and hopefully you like my channel. And actually, with a missing eyeball on back of Sally.
They can't see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Like and subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.